community. This is Robert with Block's Sonic Wafers, and I'm here to throw together an entry for a contest for Rod, the Happy Hippie and Vinyl Emporium, in which he asks us to list 9 things that we'd like to see happen in the music area of 2023. Now, I'm not sure if these things all have to be practical and realistic, or if this is a fantasy list, which I think I've probably got some of both here on mine. Turns out Rod lives in an area that's not that far away from me, and so we have some connections as far as geography is concerned. And he worked for a radio station that I have listened to that used to broadcast out of a trailer or a RV or something mobile. Where'd you go, puppy? Anyway, so small world. So I'm going to start with my 10 things, or 9 things, then we'll get to number 10 later. And the first thing, and this falls kind of under the realm of fantasy things that I would like to have happen. There's a few people that are having issues with their vocals. Janice Ian recently announced that she has canceled a few shows due to some nodules in her throat around her larynx, and that is something that has happened to several folks. I don't know if it's the same crises, but Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull has been struggling with voice issues since the mid-90s, and it's gotten progressively worse. And my cousin Hank, who I'm sure you all don't know, has experienced the same thing. So first thing on my list is I would like to see all of those people have their voices fully recovered back to the freshest state that it could have been in. I would like to include Tony Rice in that list, but unfortunately he is no longer with us. So Ian Anderson, Janice Ian, my cousin Hank, I'd like to all of them to have their voices magically restored. Secondly, speaking of Ian Anderson, I would like to see Jethro Tull in the Hall of Fame. Number 3, I would like to tear my pen up. I would like to be able to procure at least 2 box sets per month in the year of 2023. And it would be difficult, you know, being on a fixed income as I am, but one can dream. Number 4. Hello. Y'all know Molly? Can you see her? Number 4. I would like to see surround sound 5.1, DVD-A, SACD, iRes Blu-ray. I would like to see that become more popular and more practical, so that they don't print 20 copies of everything and then quit. You know, if everybody got involved in that. You know, it started out with SACD. Originally, it would only work on an SACD player. But then they developed it to where an SACD has 2 layers. So you can play it on a regular CD player for the stereo, and then you can also decode it for whatever's on the SACD layer. And those were basically the same price as a regular CD, so I don't understand why at that point that didn't become practical. You know, you could buy it just like a regular CD and have a 5.1 mix for at some point down the road when you caught up with the equipment necessary. And then the DVDs kind of did the same thing when they started going with DTS. DTS can be decoded on almost any DVD player. So anyway, I would like to see that become more popular and more available. I mean, if you have a surround sound system to watch movies, then why not you do it for music as well? Number 5, I would like to be able to get a lot more live shows in 2023. That has slowed down in my life for many reasons. I'm not traveling as much due to health reasons, and again, the fixed income thing. But some good news, and this isn't going to be in 2023, but I'm still excited. I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully by this afternoon I'm going to have tickets to see a really good show at my favorite little venue, the Down Home. Scott Miller of Scott Miller in the Commonwealth, every year he does a 3-night stand at the Down Home. Usually the way it works is he does a solo night followed by a duo or trio night, and then Saturday night a full band. I'm going for the Saturday night, and I'm excited to say that if it works out, I'm going to have some newbies with me, which are all family. My nephew, my brother-in-law, and his wife are going to join me, and to me, that'll make my whole holiday season, just to be able to do that with them. But yep, I'd like to get more shows in next year if at all possible. And 6, which is kind of related to that, I would like to be able to get around to more intimate but well-known venues that I've always heard about, and just to check them out, and again see some great music in small places. I'm not as big on arena shows anymore, but I'll go to one on occasion. As y'all, some of you know, I went and saw Roxy Music in Washington, D.C. in September. So that's a pretty big venue there. 7, I've always felt that I should have done something in the music business as a career. That could have been on any side of it, you know, engineering, cutting a master. I dabbled in booking a little bit at one time. I almost could have been a musician. Anything along those lines. DJing. I wish I had done something with my career life in the music biz. So that's kind of in the past, but you never know. Number 8. I would like to get on Sean and Yoko's list where they send out box sets to people. Not gonna happen, but number 9, going back to the 5.1 thing, I would like to see the 10cc catalog mixed in 5.1. There's a whole bunch of artists I could tack on to a list of that thing, but I decided on 10cc, specifically Sheet Music, which I think is my favorite album by them. I think it is just begging for a 5.1 mix. Okay, so now we're up to the number 10, where we're supposed to trade somebody out and bring somebody back. And for me, I didn't have to think about that too hard. I would like to donate Uncle Ted Nugent, with no remorse, and bring back John Prine. And I would secondly like to donate Kid Rock and bring back John Lennon. And I think I'll stop there. There's so many people on my list that I'd like to bring back, but I don't want to develop too big a list of people that I don't mind donating with no remorse. I'd like to bring back Tony Rice, who I mentioned at the top. But that's a good idea for a contest. And Rod, I appreciate your channel. I hope everybody will go to Rod the Happy Hippies vinyl channel and check him out. He and I have a lot in common as far as our musical taste. He's into a lot more Americana than, there's not a whole lot of that goes on in the vinyl community. There's a few people, and it always warms my heart to see people bring that stuff up. I know Rod's a big Steve Earle fan. I'm a big Steve Earle fan, and I've met him a time or two. And my very first Steve Earle show was there in Knox Vegas at the Bijou on the Train a Comin' tour. And the guy I'm talking about seeing in December was at that show and in that show because he was a member of a band called the V-Roys, and they were not only the opener, but they helped Steve out in that show. So there's a big connection there. Anyway, I hope Rod gets a bunch more subscribers out of this. I've seen quite a few people have entered this contest. And I know I'm not the first person to try to bring back John Prine. Hopefully, if there's enough of us that want to bring back John Prine, we can make it happen. Just like the rain chant at Woodstock. Okay? Alright, so there we go. That is my entry into the Happy Hippie Guys contest. I hope everybody out there is having a great day, and I will see you in another video soon. Peace out.